welcome. This is Dr. Kiki Singletary Williams. Thanks so much for tuning in to Rap Sessions with Dr. Kiki. Dr. Kiki Speaks, the podcast. And always, thank you so much to those who tune in, follow, and absolutely utilize services of Quantum Talks 8.0 professional coaching, mentoring, the whole nine. As promised, it is a goal to make sure we are broadcasting every single week. I always start off by saying, hey, let's have a praise and a prayer. Hopefully you've done both today. Want you guys to continue to be diligent. It's a lot going on in our climates, like across the globe. But as we all know, we're going to be more than conquerors. We are more than conquerors. So today, I want to talk about something that impacts us all, regardless of where we are on our spiritual walk, regardless as where we are in our personal, professional industries. Hey, if we're retired, if we're just getting into the workforce, we're still in school, we're in trade, wherever you are, this particular conversation can resonate with you, okay? So today's conversation is based around integrity. Integrity. This is one of those not so common conversations. People would rather share garbage, fights, he say, she say, gossip. And less are people sharing truth, ways to flourish, ways to make it. So we all can benefit from it. So please do feel free to find our platform on social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and like, subscribe, share, and hopefully if there's something that resonates with you, give us a thumbs up or something in the comments, okay? So with integrity is one of those morals/values that you use no matter where you are. Some people have on a mask and a face depending on where they are. And the way that they greet you or treat you is situational. And I get it. Sometimes if you're out hanging out with your friends, you're laughing and having a good time, that's probably not the same vernacular you'll use in a business meeting. I understand. But integrity does not change. It should be the same regardless of our physical locations. So, what does integrity look like? It looks like I'm going to do the right thing no matter who's watching. When somebody's watching, it's easy for people to do the right thing. If somebody's listening, if I think that what I'm doing will be reviewed or, is subject to an audit, then I'm 9 times out of 10 going to do the right thing. But because our world has gotten so much more interested and acclimated to the digital platform, and let's face it, this is the wave of the future. It's not too late. Log into them devices, figure out how it works. Let's go. But this climate has afforded people more opportunities to hide, to go offline with certain activities, conversations, plans, plots, decisions, etc. And so with integrity says, if I know that my goal is A, B, C, then I'm going to let that be known out front. I'm not going to position myself as if I'm here for X, Y, Z under a false pretense. And so integrity means I am going to do my best effort to treat others professionally as much as I can, with humanity, with compassion, with kindness, as if I would want to be treated. And sometimes people get a little bit of power and think that they can say, do, treat, respond, however they choose to. I'm really big on how people treat the most insignificant. I've always been that way. Like, don't browse into the elementary school cafeteria and talk to all the kids, all the administrators, all the teachers, and all support staff, and then snoot your nose at, make snide comments at, or don't even speak to the cafeteria helpers or janitors. How are we treating the least of those? Some people don't have an inner person, something inside of them that's going to help them make the best decisions. They are at a point where biblically we call it as, guess what? This person might be reprobate. They don't have the ability to make decisions. They don't have the ability to choose what's right. They've not considered God in their consciousness. We know it's a concern where, since we live in a day and time, people used to be concerned about their actions and their comments, their decisions, and how it impacts others. Now people could care less. Like, I don't care about, they'll tell you up front, I don't care. And we've gotten away from considering our neighbor. Some people are so about their agenda, their goal, whatever it is, that they don't care who it impacts, who it hurts, whose life is shattered, how many dreams are diminished. They don't care. I want us to get back to having integrity. Integrity is that part of me that will think, is this the right thing to do? Sometimes there's too many rash decisions being made. Like, you just rush into a decision. You don't care. You haven't prayed. You haven't consulted with anybody. You're not checking for others. Who's impacted by what I'm doing right now? What is the story going to be told based on my now? That's where you get integrity to come in somewhere and should say, maybe we're not going to promote smoking, at this school event or period. Because we got kids who are coming along, and guess what? We're going to subliminally teach them that this is okay. Integrity helps me to think beyond my immediate need, beyond my immediate conversation, my goal, my point, my, and make decisions that are not only going to be fruitful for myself, but will be fruitful for others as well. So if I work on building up certain morals and values within my own wheelhouse, on my own journey, and get things together for myself internally, then when it comes to thinking of helping, propelling, and advancing the next generation, there's not a conflict because I got myself together so that if I am in the driver's seat and I'm the decision maker, or I have the quote unquote ounce of power to make a determining decision, I'm thinking about generations to come. Our world has placed fast, quick, and easy over peace, over good judgment, over patience. And I know I used to hear long ago, well, Rome wasn't built in a whole day, but it came down in a day. And really, we can think in terms of when things are built up and they crumble, it was not an immediate process. Certain ideologies have to be infiltrated. Certain goals that we've established for ourselves somebody had to say, it don't take all of that. Or, that's not necessary. Or, that's the old time. Where am I going with this? Well, as a faith-based person, I cannot help but see, hear, and sometimes be impacted by certain leaders of the cloth who, whether the rumors are true or not, we're being held to a greater standard. And it impacts us all how the church is viewed, treated, what it stands for, what it no longer stands for. And at the end of the day, I'm just wondering who has the integrity to stand up for what's right. Doesn't matter if somebody dare you to do something, or you do this and I got you a nice check, or I got you on my next such and such. What are we doing that if God were to call us any moment, like, what are we doing like right now in this moment of truth or dare, that if God calls for us, we will still see his face in peace? Some people are, feeling themselves or got a little bit of this, that, and the other libation going, and they're making choices that are putting innocent souls at risk. Do you have the integrity to say, I'm a child of God and I don't do certain things? Do you have the integrity to say, I know God is watching me even when it's quiet, it's dark, and I'm secluded? Even if someone's promised me no one will see the light of day, or we're going to keep this between ourselves, nobody has to know. Do I have integrity to know that God sees and hears all? And he will bring into judgment every idea, intention, action, inaction, meeting, secret meeting, plan, plot. Where are we, and when will we stand up for real? Integrity positions us in a place that when God realizes who he can and can't use, we'll still be standing. Integrity says, I'm going to decline that invitation because guess what? I don't vape. Or, that's just not my thing. Or, I don't need to be around people who are, shaking certain body parts. Okay, let's be real. Everybody has one. I have been going through my own social media and clearing out, cleaning, leaving groups. Some of the groups, I have no idea how I was a part of them. I've been deleting people. I've been, just cleaning stuff up, because being honest, even if I'm doing everything I know how to do so that I make heaven my home, and guys, let's not get it twisted. I don't care what people say or think. That is my goal. I don't need to see all this other stuff. Like, thank God I am happily married. I am a spoken for woman. Okay. And I don't need to see somebody, who decided they want to go shake their behind for a living. I don't need to see that up and down my feed. Like, I'm sorry, no offense to you, but integrity for me says that's not necessary for me. So no, I'm not trying not to support others, but you have to understand that because you started off walking with God, you have a standard to uphold. So while it's popular to do certain things, and people seem like they're just blowing up, and oh my God, this is happening, and oh my God, I have a real relationship with the source, God, our Father, Yahweh. And what I'm doing is taking a little longer, but the payoff and the benefit is beyond human or even worldly comprehension. God can bless you greater than one little quote unquote, well, you only have to do it once. Or, oh, no, it's just once, relax, what's wrong? God is the final paymaster. He is the source. So I'm not going to allow any resource, any connection, any affiliation take me from getting God's best. I'll tell you something. The lack of integrity can prevent you from getting things that you rightfully know you deserve. You know why? Because you're attached to people that you should have cut off and cut loose and distance yourself from a long time ago. Okay? You're all about, the things that promote health and life and mentorship and, legacy. And these people are about cutting the next person's throat at any cost. So people look at, who are you attached to? Who are your connections? Oh, I had a falling out with such and such. Oh, wow, you guys are pictured here in this picture together. Oh, guess we'll move on. I've seen it happen. So it's true, you should be judged by your own efforts and energy and what you bring to the table. But we also need to not be blind to the fact that someone else's negative choices or poor taste, poor decision making, all of those things can impact me because guess what? Guilt by association. They don't have integrity. Those two hang out. She might not have integrity either. It's not fair, but that's how we are judged. And, just being very, very transparent. I know that every single day life presents new challenges, but there's also greater blessings. There's also greater miracles. But you can't be wavering here and there. 1 minute you at the trap concert and the next minute you beating everybody to worship service. Where's the integrity in it? So my words will never try to purposely deplete or harm anybody. But guys, if the shoe fits, wear it. We all can see, and I know I've seen from my various social media platforms, some of those platforms look like just scrolling obituaries. Like, it's exhausting. And, peace and blessings to the deceased, prayers to those of us who are left behind. But at this point, it's disturbing because people are checking out. They're checking out. They can be on, be at an event and, got these plans starting next week. And the very same night, they're out of here. God is calling his people home. The enemy is snuffing out lives while we have turned our backs on God. So when the olden days, them songs, I don't care what nobody say, I'm going to always sing my blood songs, my hymns. Those songs did something. They brought us through. They're still carrying us, and they worked. So I'm going to keep singing my songs. I'm going to keep praying my prayers. I'm going to keep in there because guess what? Even if people are saying it don't take all that, you never burned the bridge that brought you over. And prayer, praise, hymns, dedication to God, being faithful to God is winning. And if you notice, people are really, really, really searching and looking for an answer. And they want to get away from the things of the world. And they want to live right. And they want to know about this God that so many have talked about. And they want something new. Some will never step foot to you and say, I've been watching your life, da, 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 da. I want to be a part of that religion you talk about, that experience. They may never say that to you. Instead, they sitting up watching everything you do. When you don't realize they are watching, they're watching. And my question is, as they are watching, are they seeing more of an evaluation that you're acting more and more like God? Your associations promote more and more of the Lord, more and more peace, more kindness, more compassion? Or are we spewing hate and negativity and word curses? Integrity says, I'm going to be who I say I am. Who I say I am on Sunday mornings, Sunday nights, Tuesday night prayer, Wednesday Bible study, Thursday choir practice, Friday saints instruction, Saturday youth meeting, Monday prayer meeting. I'm going to say who I am. It's going to measure up to all those events and encounters I involve myself in. My life outside of those events and those attendances should match. Somebody's soul could be hanging in the balance because we haven't grasped what integrity is. We don't care. Like, I don't care. Like, this is the going mantra. I don't care. You know, I'm gonna do what I want. Okay. But make sure it is within the confines of holiness. Make sure we're not promoting the Lord to tears. Is he looking at us individually as his creation and just crying that he even ever made us? Are we an embarrassment to the kingdom? Because you cannot tell me certain things are okay when my Bible clearly states that it's not. So never am I trying to come down on anybody, but I want us as people who want to get this thing right and do well in life, let's check our integrity thermometer. Yes, I just made it up. If you use it, you owe me. Where is our integrity thermometer? Do we even have one? Or do we have to think, oh, what did I say to so-and-so? Because that wasn't even true. We've got to be more aware of what we're doing and what we're saying, because we are responsible for it. And no matter what industry you are in, you're going to see people who lack integrity. You are the salt of the earth. You are supposed to leave a lasting impact. And that doesn't mean because you was in there fighting and scrapping and not everybody's bleeding and crying because you went in there and showed out. Your presence is the testimony. You are a vessel that God dwells in. And when you go places, you're bringing God. When people look at you, an earth and clay full of God, what are they getting out of it? Are they seeing anything different? It's not me having, a badge on to say I'm a this and I'm a that and a title of that. Who am I clearly as a person? So many people have done so many negative and wicked things, and 2024 is the year of reaping and weeping, but reaping. Your enemies will declare war on you, and you don't have a clue of what their problem is or why. They don't have to have a reason. It's the lighting you they're fighting. You're just a casualty of war unless God intercedes. This is why we have to stay covered up under the blood of the Lamb. Integrity. I don't care if it's a private company party and they're serving up booze. I'm not drinking. I'm not faulting you if you do, but I've got to be who I am regardless. Doesn't matter. Oh, one little quick little white lie ain't gonna hurt. Well, that one lie, that one drink, that one this, that one that is all the enemy needs to bust in, because you just opened up one little small little white lie. Now you've opened a portal. And when you've known God and you've turned away, and trust me, these one little, two little, it's just one. That one little time, it was all it took for you to have to be turned away from God. And when the enemy comes, because you know better, the Bible declares that demon that comes to tempt you and you fold, he goes back and gets 7 more demons more wickeder than himself. And they all come up inside of you. Now, you're going through the motions because you're disciplined. You're going to stick to your schedule. You're going to be at church. You're going to preach. You're going to sing. You're going to pray. You're going to give the food out. You're going to. You're going to be at work. Nothing has changed that you realize. But those demons, plus the 7 that are more wicked than the first one, they're going to be sure to make sure that they let everybody know who's really driving you, who's behind you. So you can say all day, yeah, I got integrity. Oh, yeah, I love the Lord. Oh, yeah, I have a relationship. But those fruit are going to have to bear witness at some point. And at a point, there's this tug. There is a torment when a believer is now far from God because all these demons are running around, running them. There is a torment of God, I'm wrong. Please don't come and catch me in this shape. There's a constant torment of God coming and you going to hell. But after a while, when you decide, I got comfortable, yeah, because the payoff of sin is death. But guess what? It don't feel like death. Okay? Your deposits don't look like death. Okay, now you done glammed up and moved up and leveled up. It don't feel like nothing's wrong with it. And the enemy will do his best to massage your consciousness so that you don't even think about the price you have to pay. Meanwhile, you're lacking integrity and you're moving against things that you at a core used to believe in. And the enemy is not playing little tiddlywinks anymore. That demon that got you to do that one little quick little thing right quick because it's all good, did it before, ain't no problem. He go back and get those 7 other wicked demons. Guess what? They are not trying to let you go. They're not trying to, give you an opportunity to repent. They don't mind you showing up at church, going through the routine. You the deacon, so you do the offering, so ain't no big deal. They don't care. Because they got your mind. They got your conscience. And they're going to have your soul unless God intercedes. But I promise you, over time, you will stop feeling and hearing the nudge of God. My child, come home. Sinners, repent. Here comes the day of the Lord. Repent. At a moment, now that voice starts getting silent and more silent and more silent. And guess what? Now you don't hear him because maybe he stopped talking to you. Maybe he's not drawing you. Maybe he's allowed you to be turned over to the devil so that the devil can whip you into shape. But there's no guarantee he's going to allow you to come back. So why even leave in the first place? If we're over here with an expected end, God said, I know the plans I have for you to prosper you and to give you an expected end. We already know we win. We already know this. So why be tempted? And at the end of the day, lose your spot in the kingdom, everything you've worked hard for. And at the end of the day, all we have is our name. Your name is synonymous with your word, with the actions and reaction people can depend on you They know you're going to show up. They know you're going to do what you say you're going to do. They know they ain't got to question or wonder or worry. The enemy snatches all that down. He attacks all of that. So now, people are not sure. Hey, they said they was coming over here to paint the bus today, and, I don't know. Because we're now under the influence of something or some entity that itself has nothing to lose. The Bible is clear. What does it profit a man? And that means woman, boy, girl. Man is man. What does it profit a man to gain the whole world and lose their soul? That's all we got. And we have to understand we're all fashioned balls of clay. Okay? Your ball of clay look different than the next person's ball of clay. You might put a little more money on yours, and some people put a little more investment in theirs. Who cares? At the end of the day, all we have is our soul. Integrity. Because backsliding is not oh my God, did you see them on the news? It's not a aha, gotcha moment. It's slowly and it's surely. And it can start with lacking integrity. Because so many things you should say no to, it's oh yeah, okay, sure, yeah. Who's on the Lord's side? He's soon to come. But he will have a nation that won't bow. He will have a remnant that will say, Lord, I'm here. Use me. I'm for real. And people who are very small-minded need to understand, I may never step foot in your church. Other people may never step foot in your church. It does not mean that God's hand is not leading and guiding them and that they don't have a relationship with him. In every sector of our world, there is going to be a representative of God. And I remember, and I thank God for those who have invested in me. If it was a prayer, thank you. If it was sponsorship, thank you. Whatever you've invested in me, I thank God for you every single day. I had to invest in myself because growing up, being in church mostly 6 out of 7 days a week is how we grew up. It was a different service and you were going to be on time. You wasn't sitting there playing on your tablets and skinning and grinning. You was paying attention. You were involved. And with that learning and discipline, I struggled myself with the calling that God had for me. I struggled because I heard the things that people in the church said. I was already, just thrown away because you didn't see me at your Sunday school service, or I wasn't at somebody else's prayer service. God's hand is still on his people. And whether people show you all of the fruits of the Spirit in them or not, we've got to stop being so judgmental. Because I knew where God called me to be. And with all the investments and support I had behind me, I had to start supporting what God gave me. Yes, he takes me to places that you probably won't be caught dead in. Some people look down on others, but they are souls in God too. They are all God's children. And I will say this in closing. Integrity is something within all of our reach. We can choose to step over it or we can embrace it. But integrity is free. And if you are who you say you are, let God do the speaking for you. But let's not give the Lord more and more things that have to try to explain for our actions or inactions, because we are not in the will of God and we are not acting as children of God. If the world can't see a difference between us, they're not coming. Very, very important. Integrity. I don't care who else signing up for the lie. I don't care who else want to throw rocks and hide their hands. Integrity is something that you can choose to exercise. Please believe we all have to reap what we are sowing. All of us. So I would rather plant good seeds in good soil because I'm going to reap a good harvest than to plant seeds even when I don't think anyone will notice. That could be harmful. Some people are throwing darts. They're sending negative signals. They're digging and dabbling in divination, witchcraft, all kinds of stuff. And I will declare over and over again that with God's power and grace, the children of God will win. We've already won. So be lifted. Don't feel like you have to, do something different to try to fit in because, wow, they should have called me. Sometimes that rejection was protection. Integrity says, I'm going to believe the report of the Lord. Integrity says, even with mass layoffs and problems in our land, I'm a child of God and He's going to provide. Integrity says, I'm not going to lean to my own understanding and come up with my own plan. I'm going to revisit the plan of God. Get back in His presence. Lord, okay, we were doing X, Y, Z. Now, what do we, hey, do I need to pivot? Where we at? Get back into God. You may not see it now, but so many people are now reaching back to God. Let Him be God in your life. And the biggest thief towards any of our next step is comparison. You don't have to compare yourself to anybody else because you were made effortlessly, genuinely, with royal hands. God didn't make a mistake when He made you. That's why we all have different fingerprints. You're trailing your own journey. Quit comparing yourself to other people. And let the copycatters copy you. They can never duplicate the anointing in you. That's what they don't get. It's not something that's on you, it's in you. That's a whole nother word. But let's make sure we move with integrity. Please, if you find this broadcast helpful, useful, or could benefit someone else, go ahead and subscribe so every time something is posted, you are alerted. but also let somebody else be encouraged and uplifted. Remember, start each day with a prayer and a praise. I'm Dr. Kiki Singletary Williams, and as always, thank you so much on behalf of Quantum Talks 8.0 for all that you do and continue to do. Let's make this world a better place. We can. Bye.